Hey guys, how's everybody doing? We are back out in the garden on a beautiful day. It is Monday, July 1st. Happy Canada Day. It's always nice having a stat holiday day off to catch up on everything. Again, we're back out in the garden. Been kind of neglecting the garden. Thankfully, everybody else in the family has kind of kept up the maintenance on the garden. I've been kind of busy with the project that is behind me, which I'm going to talk about in the next video that is uploaded to the channel. Again, a nice thing about having a holiday is you get to catch up on not only the outside work, but hopefully some of these videos that need to be posted. I'm going to do a little bit of work out in the garden, clean up the strawberry bed, do a little bit of maintenance on those plants, mainly snipping off the runners and then weeding. We usually get weeds that grow with the plant in the center of the weed guard. You'll see it, not really anything too major, but just clean up those plants so hopefully they start producing some berries later on in the year. As you remember, those are grown from seed, and so that's the first year these plants will be outside. They'll produce, at least they're supposed to produce, a little bit at the end of the year, and then their second year out, which will be next year, they'll be in full berry mode, hopefully. So a little bit of work to do today, so yeah, let's get started. All right, and here's what we're going to tackle today. Not terrible, but yeah, it shouldn't take us too long. Snip all the runners, take all the weeds out, and you can see that, you know, there are already some flowers forming, so we should have strawberries, a couple weeks. All right, guys, there we go. Weeded and clipped all the runners off. Now I could have repotted some of those runners and, you know, made new strawberry plants, but strawberries put out runners like crazy, so there'll be plenty of time to do that. And I just don't have the room right now for any more plants. This bed has a bit more weeds coming through around the edge of the weed guard and through, you know, whatever openings there are. It was uncovered last year. We grew lettuce and I can't remember what else. I think dill was here. Things, the ground was just uncovered. It gives lots of opportunities for the weed seeds to just to fall on the surface, and then yeah, in years when it is covered, just a lot more the weeds come through compared to the you know, the broccoli and cauliflower bed. This bed's been consistently covered with weed guards, so not too many weed seeds. And by the time the weeds start to grow, the broccoli and cauliflower and whatever other plants are in here will outcompete them for nutrients, and hopefully going forward the strawberry plants will be outcompeting the weeds. Okay, and with that job all done, we will take a quick look, see how everything is doing. The beans, pretty terrible germination, pretty terrible growth on the bean plants that did come up in general. So yeah, not really expecting too much from these plants this year. Again, I don't know what happened. We had what seemed to be a good spring, but June was pretty cold, pretty rainy, not very warm, sunny days. That's probably what took out the, or at least reduced the germination for those bean plants. Peas are, they're growing really early. Looks like we're gonna get a good crop of peas. Onions, both beds of onions are doing very well. Those ones look good. These ones look especially good. Happy with with the progress there. The rest of this bed, yeah, pepper plants are still, I don't know, they're just not taking off. Again, last week was pretty much every day was overcast, cooler and rainy, so they just haven't had good, consistent, warm, sunny weather that they need. Next door, the reseeded carrots are starting to come up, and the beets, yeah, they're looking pretty good. I'm not going to spend the time and reposition any of these plants. Just going to let them grow and see what happens. Dill is starting to come up, which is always nice. We use a lot of dill. Asparagus are slowing down a little bit, which is normal for them this time of the year. Cucumbers, again, these are the ones we purchased because all of our plants did not survive the transplant outside for whatever reason. Looking all right. Yeah, maybe in a couple more weeks they'll start producing. We have harvested a few lettuce. Those are yeah, always very reliable. Butterhead lettuce. Cherry plants are doing well for the second year in a row. Looks like we are going to get another huge harvest of these cherries. They are everywhere on this plant and on its neighbor. Yeah, they're already starting to ripen up a little bit. So it's going to be a staggered harvest for these two plants. Our other bed of peppers doing pretty good. I think we're going to go through. There are a lot of peppers already on the plants, but I think we're going to go through and just harvest all of them, just to encourage the plant to put on some new growth and you know, just grow a little bit. These things are not yeah, they're pretty tiny. So yeah, that's the plan. We'll eat the peppers that come off them, and yeah, hopefully they start putting off some new growth. And on the other half of the garden, do this in reverse order here. Squash plants doing fine. About what I expected for this time of the year. Zucchini plants, they look like they're going to be putting out their first zucchinis probably in by next weekend. We'll have the beginnings of some zucchini. Garlics, I don't know, doing okay. And what's that? Horseradish. I have no idea how that's doing because we've never grown it before. And what you need is underground, so can't really tell you. But that's a new experiment for this year. And so is the garlic, grown in these raised beds. The covered beds that we don't touch with the weed guard and the bug netting, we just never have to go in here. Savoy cabbage, regular cabbage, doing really well. Just huge. Yeah, really good for this time of the year. Eggplants and celery, again, have not budged since I put them in the ground. The celery plants look identical to when I put them out in the ground well over a month ago. Again, we have struggled with celery all the time in this garden. The eggplants don't look very healthy either. So I don't know, those two plants, you know, we've consistently struggled with those, and you know, space is at a premium. As you can see, we've got our lettuce kind of scattered everywhere else, so would be nice to you know, if something's not producing, we really can't afford to keep it in here. Tomatoes are finally getting the sunshine that they need, looking a lot better than you know, than a few weeks ago. Everything's doing fine. Another bed that we typically don't open up, just leave it and let it do its thing all year, is the broccoli and the cauliflower bed. Broccoli here, looking really good, really ahead of the game. And cauliflower, similar, really nice plants. Quite quite far along, considering we are only the beginning of July. I was kind of hoping this result would, with that early spring that we had, I was hoping this result would happen for all the plants in the garden, but well, at least we got ahead of the game on some of these plants. And the blueberry plants, I don't know what's going on with these this year. We do have to come in here and prune some of the branches that have obviously died off. There's no new growth on them. There's two different varieties in here. I don't remember what they are. The middle three are one variety, and the two plants on the end are another variety. And it seems that only the two plants on the end are actually producing blueberries this year. Actually, this one on this end is not doing anything at all. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Have to come in here and maybe prune them back and see what we can do to encourage more growth of the plants. And last but not least, the kale, Swiss chard, and kohlrabi, which are all doing really well. And by the looks of some of the kohlrabi, we probably harvest them in about a week. They're starting to get pretty big. And then you saw the strawberry bed, which is looking pretty good. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Looks like this year be fairly similar to all the other years, where we have some winners and some losers, but yeah, that's just the way it goes. Hoping for lots of sunshine for the month of July. All right, I'll see you next week.